Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, Serving Nerve, where we talk about whatever we want. And today we're going to be going through more fat acceptance, body positivity, cringe compilations. I like these, you like these, so let's just get into it.
60 years, study after study has shown us the same thing. Among people who pursue intentional weight loss, 95 to 98% of them will regain the weight that they lost.
I like how they're just like, study after study, blah, blah, blah. This is not an accurate number, by the way. I've seen this before. It is not an accurate portrayal of intentional pursuits for weight loss. A lot of what this person is talking about entails things like crash dieting or fad diets, things that don't really consist of like a lifestyle choice that also happens to have intentional weight loss. Intentional weight loss is not the maker or breaker of your weight loss or gain. It's mainly got to do with the type of diet that you're getting involved with or the dietary changes that you're getting involved with. Now, saying that, crash dieting, bad. Fad diets, bad. Sticking to a healthy lifestyle change, good. Is this number accurate? No. They always shill these numbers like, oh, it's 95%, it's 92%, it's 98%, it's everybody. Oh, nobody can lose weight doing healthy things if they do it intentionally. We all have to do it intuitively. Oh, we should just appeal to futility. Oh, whatever. It's just a big old crock of baloney, and this is just an appeal to futility. It's just a means of making excuses and making excuses for why we can't be healthier or lose weight, whether intention is involved or intention is not involved. It's the same thing as intending to, not drink or not smoke or not eat as much junk food. Intention is usually something that most people need to get through, most unhealthy behaviors in their life. You have to intend to not drink as much if you find that you drink heavily. You have to intend to not smoke as much if you find that you're a smoker. You have to intend to eat healthier if you find that you eat super unhealthy. You have to intend to lose weight if you find that that's a goal in your life. You have to intend to gain weight if you actually want to gain weight and you make the decision, hey, the way I'm doing things right now, it's not great. Intention is good. I don't know why there's this demonization of intention, of weight loss. It doesn't really make a great point to the argument. So it's kind of bothersome when they're always like, oh, it's 95%, 98% of people can't lose weight when they do it intentionally. There's no explanation as to what that intentional weight loss entails. So it's just ridiculous. It's always just a big old crock of baloney with this kind of spewing. And I like how they just say study after study when they're not actually saying like what the study is.
Within 2 to 5 years, 2/3 of those people will regain more weight than they lost in the first place. Significant, sustainable weight loss is not possible for the majority of the population.
That's just not true. Most people that are in my comments section can comment the opposite. For the majority of the population, the reason they can't consistently keep weight off is because they'll usually adopt some sort of diet, they won't stick to it, and then they'll be, again, surrounded by hyper-palatable, hyper-processed food. They'll eat a bunch of fast food, they'll stop worrying about the weight loss because maybe they lost some weight, then they'll regain the weight because they go back to their older behaviors, and or they'll gain more because, hey, I don't want to diet again. I know I gained the weight back, but I don't want to diet again. It's ridiculous. This is the thing. It's like, I've been all over the weight spectrum. It's all about consistent behavior that creates your new kind of like set weight that you have. So if you decide to get shredded to the gills and you go on a low fat, low carb, high protein, calorically, calculated diet, you can hit your goals in accordance to getting shredded. I've been a normal weight, underweight, overweight. I've been super fit and I've been super unfit. I've been all over the spectrum for weight, fitness, eating healthily, exercising, and at the end of the day, it's just about what you consistently do in the long term for your weight loss or gain goals. That's just what it is. It's not this complex. It's not like there's this magic, law of thermodynamics or metabolism or this trick of the trade where the majority of the population can't lose weight because it's just not a thing. It's like delusional, or we're just going to go back to our set points or whatever this person's going to spew. It's just not accurate. Anybody with the intention can make a lifestyle choice to lose weight and keep it off.
Many people who pursue intentional weight loss end up developing what's called chronic weight dissatisfaction or weight cycling. It's most commonly known as yo-yo dieting, and it's when you gain and lose weight repeatedly.
Which usually involves you doing very unhealthy things, like consistently, eating unhealthily and then losing weight through trying to eat healthily, usually going through some kind of fad diet or something, or just not sticking to a diet that you adopt, and then going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth to eating unhealthily or eating super healthily, or, going in that diet mindset. And again, usually this also involves things like getting into the habit of a binge restrict mindset, which isn't anything to do with a healthy lifestyle change. It's usually to do with severely restrictive behavioral patterns that you then combat against because you're usually either undereating or restricting every single thing in the book that you could like. A great example is when I was studying dietetics, the number one thing that you learn is it's better to add more and phase out the crap than to just go on one of these diets and cut everything out, unless it's medically advised or you really need to do that for your health. Most of the time, if you just make healthy changes, like instead of having French fries that are fried, you have French fries that are oven baked with olive oil, less oil. You start phasing out the chips every single night for maybe a salad 2 times a week or something like that, or veggie sticks, or something with that similar crunch and that you can enjoy, but it's not as, unhealthy or high in calories. It's just about phasing little things out, and it means that you can still enjoy the things that you like. You just make healthy decisions along the way, and you have those healthy behavioral changes over a course of time because it's mostly habit-based. I just feel like these people weaponize the concept of fad diets or overly restrictive diets and don't actually look into long-term weight loss and that involving healthy lifestyle changes for the long term.
Science shows us that weight cycling poses a much larger risk to health than just staying fat.
Part of me even doesn't believe that, because honestly, if you go on a stint of cutting out all the crap, even if it's for a shorter amount of time, and you lose some weight, your body's gonna still be healthier than it is at the weight that you're currently at, doing the unhealthy things that you're doing. So I feel like that's just not even true. The best thing in the situation would be to not regain the weight through unhealthy behaviors. But I feel like even if you adopt these kinds of diets and lose weight in the short term, it's still better than being in the same position, super overweight. At least you've got a chance for your liver to clear out all of its crap, arteries to kind of clear up a little bit, weight to go down, etc. If you have a 2-year period of that, it's probably healthier than just staying the same weight all the time. Just saying.
Imagine that. I'm fat, and I have this radical idea that I'm allowed to exist. And
I don't understand this too. It's not like people don't want you to exist. People just don't want to endorse unhealthy behaviors and or having to accept you at this weight. Everybody, no matter what they look like, has a right to exist, at least in the Western world. Many people have the right to do whatever they want, look however they want, dress however they want. Literally, they can be whatever weight they want, which is proven because you've got people who can be severely underweight or overweight and they're still here and they're not being thrown into prison. But the one thing is, instead of existing, people just aren't going to accept you the way you are or endorse you. There's no body type that people will just outwardly accept. It doesn't matter if it's accepting me at an underweight weight, an overweight weight, or a normal weight. If you focus just on physical elements of a body and be like, you have to accept me at this weight, people are going to be like, what am I accepting you for? If you focus just on body weight and you're like, you have to accept me at this weight for this weight that I am, no matter what the weight, nobody will go along with it. What am I accepting you for? Am I accepting you sheerly because of a petty decision on your part to operate with this body weight? It's just ridiculous. So you have the right to exist. Just don't expect people to bend the knee for you. That's the thing. And that's at every weight. Nobody should bend the knee for anybody just on the basis of body weight. It's stupid.
Not just to exist, to thrive, to make the world more wonderful because I was in it and because I knew my value. I'm not going to comment on your weight loss. I'm not going to comment on your weight gain. Your weight fluctuations in every iteration are deeply human, terrifically ordinary, and absolutely devoid of moral implication whatsoever.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not even listening to this. I'm listening to Hayloft now as it's slowed in my headphones. Mother's fantastic. I'm so sad that it's being taken away just so that I can be using a fat acceptance TikTok. Jeez Louise. Seeing them live is absolutely fantastic as well. I encourage anybody, go see Mother. They're great. I love them so much. I'm sad that they blew up on TikTok though because of this crap, man. It's just so cringe.
People have such a funny concept of how size and weight works. I remember I asked a skinny person once, how much do you think I weigh? And they're like, 200? Like, bestie, I'm 300. Probably more. I haven't weighed myself since quarantine. Which is beside the point. Your weight and size literally don't matter at all. But then, like, they'll be like, oh yeah, I have clothes you can borrow. Size large. It's a t-shirt. They're like, oh, it's pretty big on me. It'll probably fit you. Size large, belly shirt, crop top. Crop top. Bless their little noodle hearts, though. They have their heart and mind in the right place. But damn, do they have no perception of weight and size. It is literally insane.
Yeah, I don't know, actually. I don't know if it's like to be nice or if it is a perception of weight and size. Because when I see somebody who's like severely morbidly obese, I'm like, I don't know how much this person weighs. Like, because if I look at myself, I'm like, okay, with my height and my build, I can be around this range. With somebody else's height and build, they can be around this range. But even when I look at somebody who's like a 6 foot tall dude, I'm like, how much is a 6 foot tall dude supposed to weigh? Like, it's just based on your perception of yourself and what you base your weights around. But I don't know. It might be a bad perception, like a poor perception of like how much weight is what weight and what clothes people can fit into. Or it just might be like a kind gesture, like, oh yeah, you can use my shirt even though it doesn't fit, which would kind of be like, I don't know, embarrassing, but whatever. Anyways, this is just kind of weird.
If I'm being completely honest, if you look at me right now and you don't think this is hot AF, that sounds like your problem.
I mean, you know, I know I caught her at a bad angle, but she's got a cute face. I just don't understand the ego trip people have to be on to be like, oh, look at me in the mirror, I'm hot. I don't care who it is. I don't care if you're fat or you're skinny or whatever. If I saw anybody in the mirror doing this or anybody going like, oh yeah, look at me, so hot, you know, and just being like weird on camera and just like trying to act like, I don't know, an it girl or whatever, it's just cringe, dude. I don't care if they're fat or not, it's just not hot. So the comment says, sorry, but I calculated and that's 500 KCAL calories. Did you guys know, by the way, which I want to mention, kilocalories are actually what we measure as calories. So we don't actually eat, like, on packaging. I know it says KCAL. That's for kilocalorie. Calories are a much smaller unit of measurement than we actually have them, like, displayed as. We actually operate on kilocalories when we say we need 2,000 calories a day. It's actually kilocalories. Otherwise, we'd actually need like 20,000 calories a day or something. It's really interesting. It's the same thing as like going through things like kilojoules. If you go through like measurements for energy and all that, it's really interesting. I just want to mention that because I think it's fun. But anyways, 500 calories over the healthy limit. You'd be gaining around a pound per week if you eat like this constantly. I don't actually know if that's true because when you're overweight, you actually need more calories to sustain yourself. And also, caloric intake's a little subjective, so even if you measure it perfectly, they might be eating more or less. Calorie measuring is very difficult to do, and it's very variable. So when I see people's like what I eat in a day is like what I eat in a day, eating this, measuring this, whatever, it's not always 100% accurate. Like, you don't know the concentration of sugar in a grape. It could be a little bit more or a little bit less. You don't know the exact caloric, you know, units in a to-go order of food. Somebody could have put like, you know, an extra spoonful or two of rice in your, you know, I don't know, burrito or something. Like, it's really hard to gauge. So I just want to mention that because like the way people count calories and the way people measure calories, I just find comical. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I think it's funny. Me thinking how I can make the fat phobes mad today. You don't even have to do anything, one. Do people actually get triggered online? I feel like saying somebody's a fat phobe isn't even that sensible. Like, when I look at this person, I'm like, I don't care. Your hair is pretty wild looking, but I don't really care. If I saw somebody fat walking down the street, I'd be like, they're just there. It's a person. You know, you gotta do some serious flashy stuff for me to pay attention to you. But when I see somebody go like, how can I make like, you know, normal people or fat phobic people angry at me today? It's like, are you actually gonna put that much effort? Like, are you actually gonna waste the time and the energy? Are you actually gonna put the effort into making people who don't really have that much value around you, like, angry? Like, I feel like if you're gonna put effort into somebody to make them mad, you should at least value the person a little bit, whether it's value them in a hateful way or a non-hateful way. Like, why waste your time trying to make people angry when they don't really care about you? Like, nobody cares about anybody. It's the internet, dude. I just think it's kind of silly because it's like, why are you wasting your time trying to annoy people for no reason? when they don't care. Like, most people don't care. Just exist, huh? Nobody's angry at you for existing. Nobody's angry at you for existing. People usually get annoyed with the things you say, the things you do, the ways you act. That's just how people get annoyed with each other. It's not to do with just existing, unless you're like an actual like nuisance to society or a contagious disease risk or something, which is likely not the case. Just saying, this isn't body positivity. I don't understand why everybody wants to be a freaking body positive sort and just go like, oh yeah, my body, I'm positive. I've never looked at my body once and been like, oh yeah, let me promote it so that I've got body positivity going on. And I've been so many different weights, you know? It's like, I just don't understand why people ascribe value to this thing or have to be positive about just a mere vessel that will, like, only be here for a short amount of time anyways. Like, it's just like, why are you ascribing so much value to something that doesn't even matter? Sorry that I'm playing with my swoop. I guess we're all the same, though. You know, I ascribe a lot of value to my swoop. I like playing with it. It's the only thing I like to play with. What the fuck? I just want you guys to know, nobody ever talks about swoop positivity. Like at work, they want me to slick back my swoop all the time, which is fine, alright, which is fine. But I just want you to know, it's swoop discrimination. People should definitely be more for the swoop. Anyways, my people, that's the video. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think about this, that, the other, and what's your favorite kind of pasta? Because, you know, I'm Italian. It's my job to ask these questions. My personal favorite is probably rigatoni or lasagna noodles. And I know lasagna noodles questionable. What do you mean, lasagna? Lasagna or the noodle. They're both fantastic. But yeah, what's your favorite kind of pasta? Tell me in the comments below, and I will see you all next time. It has been lovely. Slater.